Imagine standing in front of a mirror. What do you see? Do you see a reflection of your past, or do you see the person you're becoming? Every time we look into a mirror, we are confronted with the truth of who we are at that moment in time. But here's the catch. The mirror is not just an external reflection of our face or body. It's a reflection of the choices we've made. Your life, just like that mirror, reflects every decision you've made, every path you've taken, and every thought you've entertained. It mirrors your choices, your beliefs, and the actions you've decided to take or not take. Now I ask you, how clear is your reflection? Does it show someone who is proud of their journey? Someone who has actively shaped their destiny? Or does it show a person waiting for life to happen, hoping that fate will somehow deliver happiness, success, or fulfillment? It's essential to realize that the life we are living today is a mirror of the choices we made yesterday, and if we want a better future, it's time to start making better choices today. Our lives are not random accidents. They are shaped by the decisions we make every single day. Each decision, no matter how small, sets us on a trajectory. Think of it as building blocks. You might not see the full picture in the moment, but step by step, your choices create your future. Whether it's deciding to wake up early or pressing the snooze button, choosing to exercise or deciding to stay on the couch, each choice adds to the structure of your life. Every small decision accumulates and has a ripple effect that reaches further than we often realize. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. How many times have you found yourself in a situation that seemed beyond your control, only to realize that the decisions you made months or years ago were the very seeds of that situation? It's the law of cause and effect. The things you're experiencing now, the job you have, the relationships you're in, the health you're maintaining, are all direct consequences of choices you made at some point. And the good news is that if you don't like what you see, the mirror is always there to show you the power you have to change it. By changing your choices, you can change your reflection. Many of us spend our time looking for shortcuts, waiting for external circumstances to change, hoping that something will suddenly come along and solve our problems. But the truth is that change begins with us. It begins with our decisions. Earl Nightingale once said, "We become what we think about." And that couldn't be truer when it comes to the choices we make. Your mindset, your attitude, and the actions you take all originate from your thoughts. If you think success, you'll start making choices that align with that belief. If you think failure, your decisions will follow that path too. The beauty of this wisdom lies in its simplicity. If we want our future to be different from our present, we don't have to wait for a miracle. We simply need to make better choices starting today. It doesn't matter where you've been or what mistakes you've made in the past. The power is in your hands right now to choose a different path. The life you want is just one decision away. It's about choosing to take responsibility, to act, and to embrace the fact that your life is not a product of chance, but of choice. So, I leave you with this question. What do you see when you look into the mirror of your life? Are you satisfied with the reflection staring back at you, or is it time for a change? Remember, you have the power to transform your life by changing your choices. And with that power comes the greatest gift of all, control over your own future. Each of us, in every moment, is faced with a decision. Whether we realize it or not, each choice we make, no matter how seemingly insignificant, sets in motion a ripple effect that shapes the life we live. Picture your life as a vast, endless landscape. Every step you take, every decision you make, is like a brushstroke on a canvas, gradually bringing your picture of the future into existence. And much like an artist who controls the strokes, you have the power to influence how your life takes shape, for better or for worse. Consider for a moment the depth of that power. It's a profound truth that we often overlook in the hustle and rush of daily life. We go through the motions of routine, unconsciously making decisions without fully realizing their long-term impact. But when you truly understand that every choice you make, whether it's choosing to rise early or staying in bed, whether it's deciding to take responsibility for your actions or blame the world around you, holds the power to determine your future, something shifts inside you. You realize that your life is not something that happens to you, but rather something you create moment by moment with the decisions you make. We all want success, happiness, peace of mind, and prosperity, But those are not things that simply fall into our lap. They are the products of the choices we make today. Each day, we are given opportunities to choose. It could be something as simple as choosing to be kind to someone or deciding to make an effort to learn something new. But it's these small, often overlooked decisions that accumulate over time, building the foundation for the life we will one day live. Just as a plant grows through the consistent and intentional choice of water and sunlight, so too does our life grow based on the consistent choices we make, each contributing to the whole. You've probably heard it said that success is not a destination but a journey. But it's more than that. Success is not a mere series of lucky events. It's the sum of the small decisions we make consistently. When you look at successful individuals, you're not looking at someone who got lucky or was born into the right circumstances. What you're seeing is someone who, over time, made better decisions, stuck with them, and built a path to success through those choices. They chose discipline over procrastination, persistence over quitting, positivity over negativity, and action over hesitation. Now, it's important to recognize that the reverse is also true. The choices you make, whether consciously or unconsciously, can also work against you. If you continually make poor decisions, avoid responsibility, or allow yourself to be swayed by temporary emotions, you are setting the course for a life that may not lead you to where you want to go. It's the accumulation of small, poor choices that lead to a life full of regret and missed opportunities. This isn't to say that we all make perfect decisions all the time. Of course, we don't. But the power lies in the awareness that you can choose differently moving forward. What's truly empowering about this realization is that it places the power to change in your hands. If you're not happy with where your life is headed, you don't need to look at your circumstances as the enemy. You don't need to point fingers at the past or blame the economy, your upbringing, or any external factor. The real change starts with you, in your mind, and in the choices you make. The future you desire isn't some distant dream. It's being created right now by the decisions you make today. Take a moment to consider your daily routine. Think about your habits, your thought patterns, and your actions. Are they helping you move toward your goals, or are they holding you back? What are the choices you make on a daily basis that are contributing to your growth and success? And equally important, what are the choices you've been making that are holding you back from becoming the person you truly want to be? The answers to these questions lie in your power. You have the ability to make choices today that will radically transform your life tomorrow. When we start to see the power of our choices, it opens up an entirely new world of possibilities. Instead of feeling like a victim of our circumstances, we become empowered creators of our own reality. We no longer wait for things to change for us. We become the change. Every choice, every decision becomes a building block for a better, brighter future. It's in your hands, right now, to make the decision to take charge of your life. And as you begin to make better choices, small ones, big ones, every choice, you begin to see the reflection of your true potential in the mirror of your life. So, ask yourself, what choices will you make today? What steps will you take to shape your future? The power is always within you, and it's through the decisions you make, right here and now, that you will create the life you've always dreamed of. Every moment is an opportunity to start new, to choose differently, and to build the life you were meant to live. There's a profound simplicity in understanding that our lives are shaped by the decisions we make. Yet, this simple truth often gets clouded by the complexities of our daily existence. In our fast-paced world, where we're constantly bombarded by distractions, we tend to overlook the importance of the choices we make at every given moment. But the reality is, your life is the result of those choices, whether you consciously realize it or not. The direction you're heading, the circumstances you're facing, and the results you're experiencing right now are all the culmination of choices you've made. Some of them have been well thought out, others made in haste or out of habit, but nonetheless, they've all added up to create your present. If you take a step back and truly reflect on your life, you will see that each decision, each action, each thought has led you to where you are today. In the course of our lives, we face countless opportunities to choose, whether it's what we eat, how we spend our time, who we spend our time with, or how we respond to challenges. These choices may seem insignificant at first, but over time, They accumulate and determine the trajectory of our lives. Every single choice you make is like planting a seed. It may seem small, almost insignificant in the moment, but over time, the seeds you plant grow into something larger, sometimes something much bigger than you initially anticipated. The seeds of daily habits, whether they're good or bad, have an exponential effect. For instance, choosing to prioritize your health and fitness today doesn't just benefit you for one day. It creates a ripple effect that influences your long-term well-being, your energy levels, and your ability to take on challenges in the future. But the opposite is also true. Choosing to neglect your health today doesn't just affect your physical state for that day. It has far-reaching consequences down the road. Now, think about the choices you've made in terms of your career. Each job you've taken, each skill you've acquired, and each relationship you've built has led you to where you are professionally. These decisions, though they may seem like isolated events, are in fact part of a larger narrative, one that you're writing with every step you take. If you found yourself feeling stuck or unfulfilled in your career, it may be time to reflect on the choices you've made that have led you to this point. Are you making the most of your potential? Are you challenging yourself enough? Are you putting in the work to reach the next level? The truth is, if you want a different outcome, it's not about waiting for things to change on their own. It's about making a new choice and taking a different direction. Personal relationships follow the same principle. The way you engage with others, the kindness you show, the respect you offer, and the trust you build all contribute to the quality of your relationships. We often think of relationships as external to us, but in reality, they are mirrors of the way we approach the world and the decisions we make within it. If you want more meaningful, fulfilling relationships, you must first look inward and ask yourself what choices you're making on a daily basis. Are you contributing positively to the people in your life? Are you choosing empathy, understanding, and patience? Or are you allowing negativity, impatience, or selfishness to shape your interactions? These choices, too, add up over time to create the relationships you experience. Even more so, the way you choose to view the world plays a crucial role in determining the outcome of your life. If you approach life with a mindset of fear, scarcity, and self-doubt, you will make choices that reflect those beliefs. These choices will limit you, keep you stagnant, and prevent you from stepping into your true potential. On the other hand, when you approach life with a mindset of abundance, confidence, and possibility, you make choices that propel you forward, that open up new opportunities and new doors. It's not about ignoring the challenges you face, but about choosing to see them as opportunities for growth. Your mindset shapes your decisions, and your decisions shape your life. The key to understanding the power of your choices is realizing that they are not isolated events. They are threads in a larger tapestry that weaves the story of your life. Each day you are making decisions that impact your future. You are building your life with every choice, whether consciously or unconsciously. The beauty of this truth is that it means you are never powerless. Even if you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or uncertain about the path ahead, you have the power to shift your direction with the choices you make. Each day, you have the opportunity to make a different choice, to begin again, and to move closer to the person you want to become. Think of your life as a work in progress. The decisions you make today are creating the future you will live in. The future isn't some far-off concept. It's being built right now with every choice you make. You have the ability to choose how your story unfolds. You may not always have control over the circumstances you face, but you do have control over how you respond to them. And it's in those responses, those choices, that your power lies. The good news is that no matter where you are today, you can always make a new choice tomorrow. And with that choice, you change the course of your future. Remember, your life is not determined by the circumstances you find yourself in, but by the decisions you make within those circumstances. Each choice, big or small, has the power to alter the course of your life in ways you may not fully realize until much later. The question, then, is not whether you will face challenges, because you will, but rather what choices you will make in response to those challenges. Will you rise to the occasion, or will you let fear or doubt dictate your actions? The life you live tomorrow starts with the choices you make today, and those choices are yours to make. The truth about life is both simple and profound. You are not merely drifting through existence, waiting for things to happen. Your life is being constructed, moment by the choices you make. And those choices, whether consciously or unconsciously, are leading you toward the future you will one day live. Every decision, from the smallest daily habit to the most significant turning point, carries the weight of your future. The simple act of choosing, whether it's deciding what to eat, how to spend your time, or how to respond to challenges, determines your personal path. You see, we often think that life is something we experience, something that just unfolds as a result of external circumstances. But the real truth is, you're not just a passive observer of your own life. You are the creator of it. Every decision, every choice you make, shapes who you are becoming. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because life hasn't given you enough opportunities. It's because the choices you've made up to this point have not aligned with the vision of who you want to become. Understanding this is not just empowering, it's a call to action. The reality is that the sum of your choices is your life. And it's not just about the big decisions, the ones that feel monumental. It's also about the small everyday choices. What you decide to think about, how you choose to spend your time, the way you handle adversity. These are the things that, over time, create your life story. The choices you make on a regular basis are much more important than the ones that seem important at first glance. It's easy to focus on the big moments, like landing a job or making a big move. But it's the consistency of the smaller choices that truly shapes your destiny. Imagine if you took just a few minutes each day to choose differently, to make one better decision. If you chose to go to the gym instead of staying on the couch, to read a book instead of scrolling on your phone, to reach out to someone in need instead of keeping to yourself. These choices, compounded day after day, would lead you to a life you couldn't even imagine in the beginning. The consistency of good decisions made over time has the power to completely transform your reality. But there's a catch. The opposite is also true. If you consistently choose the path of least resistance, if you avoid discomfort and settle for mediocrity, then that too becomes your life. The small choices made over time create the very circumstances you might later regret. The difference between a life of fulfillment and a life of stagnation often comes down to the choices we make when we think no one is watching or when no one is judging. These decisions matter. They are not just small actions. They are the foundation of your life's trajectory. Think about the habits you've formed. Each of them, whether positive or negative, is the result of a choice you've made. If you've developed habits that bring you closer to your goals, to your ideal self, then you're on the right path. But if your habits are ones that hold you back, whether it's procrastination, unhealthy eating, or avoiding difficult conversations, then these habits are silently steering you away from the life you desire. These choices, often made without much thought, create your life by design, not by chance. And yet, we often fail to recognize the significance of these daily choices. We tend to think that life is something that happens to us, and we become passive in our approach. We blame our circumstances, our upbringing, or our surroundings, and we fail to take responsibility for the choices we make. But the key to transforming your life lies in understanding that you are the architect of your destiny. Every choice you make, whether it's about your health, your relationships, or your work, is a building block. The question is, what kind of structure are you building? The good news is that if you're not satisfied with where you are, you don't have to wait for the world to change for you. You don't have to wait for an external event to push you toward a different path. The power lies within you. The choices you make today can redirect the course of your future. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Just start with one decision. Maybe it's choosing to wake up 30 minutes earlier, or taking a walk, or choosing to say no to things that don't serve you. Small, consistent decisions over time will compound and begin to shift the trajectory of your life in ways you never thought possible. The beauty of this truth is that it places the power firmly in your hands. It's not about waiting for life to hand you an opportunity. It's about creating the opportunity through the choices you make. And the more intentional those choices become, the more aligned they will be with the life you want to live. You have the ability to transform your life from the inside out, one choice at a time. But transformation doesn't happen by accident. It requires awareness. It requires you to recognize the impact of the decisions you make, no matter how small they may seem. It requires you to be conscious of the direction you are heading. The more aware you become of how your choices shape your life, the more empowered you will feel to make decisions that align with your deepest desires and goals. The path to success, fulfillment, and happiness is not a mystery. It's not something that happens to a select few. It's the result of consistent, intentional choices. The question is, are you making the choices that will lead you to the life you want? If not, it's never too late to start. The power is yours. The future you want is waiting for you. And it begins with the choices you make today. Every moment you live is a chance to change, to grow, and to move toward the life you've always dreamed of. But here's the important truth: change doesn't happen by waiting for the perfect circumstances to fall into place. It happens with the decisions you make right now, in this very moment. Often, we wait for the ideal opportunity or the perfect set of conditions to begin our journey, but in reality, the best time to start is always now. The power to shape your future is not found in some distant moment. It's found in the choices you make today. Think about the times when you've made a decision that changed the course of your life. Perhaps it was something small, like deciding to pick up a new habit, or maybe it was a big decision, like taking a new job or moving to a new place. In any case, it was a choice that took you down a different path. The interesting part is that, at the time, you might not have realized just how significant that choice was. The impact may have seemed subtle in the moment, but over time, it became clear that those choices were the catalysts for change. And this is where the power lies. Every choice, no matter how small it seems, has the potential to create a ripple effect that leads to a transformed life. We often underestimate the power of small decisions. We think of big decisions, like choosing a career, buying a house, or getting married, as the moments that shape our future. And while those decisions are undoubtedly important, it's the daily decisions, the small choices we make, that accumulate and lead to lasting change. How we choose to spend our time, how we decide to speak to others, how we choose to respond to challenges. These are the decisions that, over time, compound and influence the direction of our lives. Imagine for a moment the impact of a single choice. One decision to take a positive action today can set off a chain reaction. Maybe it's a decision to read for just 20 minutes a day. Or perhaps it's choosing to wake up 30 minutes earlier to get a head start on your goals. These may seem like insignificant choices in the grand scheme of things, but when repeated day after day, they build momentum. That 20 minutes of reading, when compounded over time, leads to an accumulation of knowledge and personal growth. Waking up earlier each day allows you to take control of your morning, setting the tone for a productive day ahead. The beauty of these small choices is that they don't require monumental effort, but their effects are lasting and profound. Think about how easy it is to get caught in the cycle of making decisions that don't serve you. It's easy to fall into habits of procrastination, to choose comfort over action, and to let fear guide our choices. But here's the catch: when we repeatedly make these choices, we set ourselves on a path of stagnation. Small decisions like choosing to put things off or allowing distractions to take over slowly but surely take us further away from our goals. The more we make those choices, the more ingrained they become, and the harder it becomes to break free from them. But the reverse is also true. When you make choices that push you toward growth, even if they feel uncomfortable or difficult at first, those decisions set you on a path of progress. The difference between those who live a life of success and fulfillment and those who don't is often not talent, luck, or circumstance. It's the ability to make decisions that align with their long-term goals. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you want to become. When you choose discipline over laziness, persistence over quitting, and action over inaction, you are choosing the future version of yourself. These choices may feel small in the moment, but they accumulate to create the life you desire. But making these choices isn't always easy. It requires a deep understanding of the person you want to become and the discipline to stay committed to your vision, even when the path gets tough. There will always be moments of doubt, times when it feels easier to give up, or when the comfort of the status quo beckons. But it's in those moments that your choices matter the most. It's when you choose to keep moving forward, even when things seem difficult. that you are building the life you truly want. The power of choice also lies in the fact that you can always begin again, no matter where you are right now. No matter how many choices you've made that haven't served you, you have the power to choose differently starting today. You can make the decision to change your habits, to shift your mindset, and to take the necessary steps toward a better future. The key is to recognize that your past choices do not define your future. The future you desire begins with the decisions you make today, in this very moment. Every person has the power to change their life through the decisions they make. You may not have control over everything that happens to you, but you do have control over how you respond. And it's your responses, your decisions, that will determine the outcome of your life. The choices you make today will shape the person you become tomorrow. It's a simple truth, but one that holds enormous power. The life you want is already within your reach. The path to getting there may not always be clear, and the decisions may not always be easy. But each choice you make is a step toward that future. The more conscious and deliberate you are with your choices, the closer you will get to the life you desire. Remember, it's the small choices made consistently over time that build the foundation for a life of success, fulfillment, and joy. The choice is yours. Will you choose to take control of your future starting today? Think about your life for a moment. Really think about it. The job you have, the relationships you're in, the health you're maintaining, the goals you're pursuing. Now ask yourself, are you living the life you truly want? Or is there a gap between where you are and where you want to be? More often than not, when we feel dissatisfied or stuck, it's because we have failed to recognize that the choices we make today are directly responsible for the life we're living right now. The discomfort we feel in our circumstances is often a result of past choices, and if we're not happy with where we are, the only way to change it is to begin making different choices. The beautiful part of this realization is that it places you in the driver's seat of your life. If you don't like what you see in the mirror of your present reality, you don't have to stay stuck. You can make different decisions that will alter your course and lead you in the direction of your dreams. But here's the catch. You need to be intentional about your choices. Every decision you make, from how you spend your time to how you respond to challenges, is either bringing you closer to the life you want or further away from it. The power to shape your future lies in your ability to make deliberate, thoughtful decisions today. One of the greatest misconceptions we have is that change will come from outside forces. We think that we'll wake up one day and somehow everything will magically fall into place. We wait for a miracle, or we hope for a stroke of good luck to set things right. But in reality, change comes from within. It comes from the choices you make, the actions you take, and the mindset you choose to adopt. You are the creator of your reality, and the decisions you make today are the building blocks of your future. You have the power to create the life you desire, but it begins with a choice. Now, let's look at the decisions you're making right now. Are they leading you toward your goals, or are they keeping you in a state of complacency? Many people unknowingly continue to make decisions that don't align with their true desires. They settle for mediocrity because it feels comfortable. They choose the path of least resistance because it's easier in the moment. But comfort doesn't lead to growth, and stagnation doesn't lead to fulfillment. If you want something different, if you want more out of life, you must begin by choosing to make decisions that challenge you, decisions that push you outside of your comfort zone. We've all faced moments where it seemed easier to quit, to give up, or to settle for less than what we truly wanted. But it's in these moments, when the temptation to abandon your dreams is strongest, that your choices matter most. The decisions you make in these difficult times determine your future. When you choose to persist in the face of adversity, when you choose to keep going even when you're not sure of the outcome, you are setting yourself up for success. Every time you choose to push through challenges, you're building resilience and strength that will carry you through future obstacles. But it's not just about pushing through difficulties. It's about consciously choosing your direction in life. Every day, you have an opportunity to make choices that align with your values and goals. You can choose to invest in your personal growth by reading, learning new skills, or taking action toward your dreams. You can choose to surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. You can choose to prioritize your health, well-being, and happiness. Each of these choices may seem small in the moment, but when added together, they create a life that is rich in purpose and fulfillment. The question is, are you making those choices? Are you actively shaping the life you want to live, or are you allowing life to happen to you, passively reacting to circumstances instead of taking control of your destiny? It's easy to fall into a pattern of reacting to life, to be at the mercy of external events and circumstances. But this kind of living leads to frustration and regret. It's when you begin to make deliberate choices, when you start to take responsibility for your actions and decisions, that you begin to move toward the life you've always envisioned. It all starts with awareness. The first step in changing your life is recognizing that you have the power to make different choices. The second step is having the courage to act on those choices, even when it's uncomfortable. The more you make choices that align with your true desires, the more confident you become in your ability to shape your future. You begin to see that your circumstances are not as important as the decisions you make in response to them. You realize that you are not a passive observer in your own life. You are the author of your story, and you hold the pen. As you continue to make decisions that move you closer to the life you desire, you'll begin to see a shift in your circumstances. Opportunities will present themselves. You'll find yourself surrounded by people who support your goals. You'll have the energy and determination to keep going, even when things get tough. The more you choose to align your actions with your vision, the more your reality will reflect that vision. The beauty of this is that the power to change is always within your grasp. No matter where you are today, you can choose to begin again. You can choose to make better decisions, to take action, and to create the life you want. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday or last year. What matters is the decision you make today. And with every new decision, you are taking one more step toward the life you've always dreamed of living. You are in control. You have the power to shape your future starting now. We live in a world where distractions are endless, where it's easy to fall into the trap of procrastination, and where the idea of success can often seem distant, even unattainable. It's easy to get caught up in the noise, to be swayed by the opinions of others or by temporary setbacks. But here's the truth: the path to success, happiness, and fulfillment isn't about waiting for the right conditions or hoping for a lucky break. It's about understanding one fundamental truth: the life you desire is within your control, and it all starts with the choices you make today. When you look at successful people, whether they're entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, or anyone who's achieved great things, it's easy to think they must have some kind of secret, something you don't know. But the truth is, there's no secret. There is only one thing that differentiates those who achieve their dreams from those who don't: their choices. Every choice, no matter how small, is a step on the path to success. The key is recognizing that you can make those choices now, in this very moment. You can decide to start today. You can decide to take control of your destiny by making the right decisions. The beauty of this is that you don't need to wait for everything to be perfect to make a change. The journey to success isn't about waiting for a specific moment. It's about taking action, making decisions, and staying committed to those choices even when the path gets tough. It's easy to believe that success is for other people. People who have more talent, more time, more luck, or more resources. But the truth is, success is built on the consistent choices that you make day in and day out. It's the small, deliberate actions that eventually lead to big results. Think about it for a moment. Every person you admire for their success has had to make decisions that took them out of their comfort zone. They had to choose to get up early when everyone else was still sleeping. They had to choose to work hard, even when they didn't feel like it. They had to choose to believe in themselves when no one else did. It wasn't luck or some magical event that got them where they are. It was the culmination of the choices they made along the way. And the great news is that you have the same power. You have the ability to decide what your future will look like by the choices you make today. Now, let's talk about the importance of consistency. It's not enough to make one good choice today and then expect your life to change overnight. Success is the result of making good choices consistently, over time. Whether it's waking up early every day to work toward your goals, consistently practicing a skill, or making time for the things that truly matter in your life. These are the decisions that build momentum. The key to progress isn't about making one giant leap forward. It's about taking small steps in the right direction every single day. Over time, those small steps add up to massive progress. You might not see the immediate results, but trust that every choice you make is moving you closer to your desired outcome. One of the most powerful aspects of this understanding is the realization that you are never stuck. If you don't like where you are, you have the ability to change your direction right now. It's not about waiting for some outside force to change things for you. It's about recognizing that the power to create a new reality is always in your hands, and it starts with the decisions you make today. Each choice you make is an opportunity to shift your life in the direction you want to go. And even if you've made mistakes or taken detours in the past, you can always choose to start again. What holds many people back, though, is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. But here's the thing: fear is simply a signal that you are pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. It's a sign that you are about to make a choice that will move you forward. The key is to make that choice anyway. Every time you face fear and choose to act in spite of it, you build confidence. You begin to realize that fear is just a feeling, not a fact, and that the true power lies in your ability to make choices in spite of it. As you begin to make more intentional choices, you'll find that your life starts to change in ways you never expected. Opportunities will appear. People who align with your vision will come into your life. Doors that once seemed closed will begin to open. The beauty of making deliberate, empowered choices is that it creates a self-fulfilling cycle. The more you make decisions that align with your goals, the more momentum you build. The more momentum you build, the more success you attract. At the heart of it all is this: your choices are the building blocks of your future. Every decision you make, no matter how small, is creating the life you will live tomorrow. The life you want, the life you dream about, is already within your grasp. It is up to you to decide to take action, to make the choices that align with your true desires, and to stick with them day after day. You have the power to shape your destiny. The question is, will you choose to take it? The life you want is waiting for you, and it all begins with the choices you make today. Your life is not defined by the circumstances that surround you, nor is it determined by the challenges you face. It's shaped by the choices you make in response to those circumstances. Every moment, every decision you face is an opportunity to take control of your future. And what's truly empowering is that no matter where you are in life, you have the power to change the course of your destiny. The key to unlocking that power lies in the decisions you make, the actions you take, and the mindset you choose to adopt. The challenge for many of us is the tendency to look at our current situation and think that it's too late for change. We look at the mistakes we've made, the time we feel we've wasted, and we tell ourselves that the future is out of our hands. But nothing could be further from the truth. The past does not define you. The choices you made yesterday, while they may have shaped your present, do not control your future unless you allow them to. You always have the ability to choose, to make a decision that will shift the trajectory of your life. No matter how far down a particular path you may have traveled, it's easy to become discouraged when we feel that we've made too many wrong choices or missed too many opportunities. But the truth is, every day you are given a new chance to start over, to make better decisions, and to shift the course of your life. The power to change is not reserved for a special few, nor is it locked away in some future moment when everything aligns perfectly. The power to change your life is in your hands right now, with every choice you make. The first step is simply to decide. Decide that you are no longer going to wait for things to change on their own. Decide that you are going to take responsibility for your future, for your decisions, and for your actions. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by waiting for perfect circumstances. They didn't get there by letting fear or doubt hold them back. They got there by making choices, bold, decisive choices, that aligned with their vision even when it was difficult. The choices you make today, no matter how small they may seem, are the seeds that will grow into your future. You are planting the foundation for your future with every action you take. You may not see the results immediately, but with consistency, those small choices add up over time to create a life that is aligned with your dreams. What often stands between us and the life we want is the belief that we aren't capable of making those bold choices, or that the choices we make won't make a difference. It's easy to feel powerless when we look at the bigger picture. But the reality is, it's not the massive, life-altering choices that change everything. It's the small, consistent ones. It's choosing to wake up early every day to work toward your goals. It's choosing to take that first step, even when you're not sure where it will lead. It's choosing to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. These choices, when made consistently, build momentum that leads to bigger and bigger decisions. The path to success, happiness, and fulfillment is built one choice at a time. Another aspect of choice is understanding that the obstacles you face are often a result of the choices you've made in the past. But rather than seeing them as something to avoid, view them as opportunities for growth. The challenges you encounter are not signs that you're on the wrong path, but rather indications that you are moving forward. Every setback, every difficulty is an invitation to make a different choice, to choose persistence over quitting, courage over fear, and resilience over defeat. It's in the face of challenges that your choices matter most, and it's through those choices that you build the strength, the mindset, and the character that will ultimately carry you to success. The key to unlocking the power of choice is recognizing that you always have a say in the direction of your life. Every decision you make, whether it's about your career, your relationships, your health, or your personal growth, is shaping your future. Your choices are like the compass that guides you toward the life you want to live. The more intentional and aligned those choices are with your values and vision, the more clearly the path will appear. Too often, we allow external circumstances to dictate our choices. We let fear, uncertainty, or the opinions of others guide us. But true freedom lies in making decisions based on your own beliefs, your own vision, and your own goals. It's about becoming the master of your own destiny by consciously choosing your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. You are not a passive participant in your life. You are the creator. The life you want is already within your reach, and it starts with the decisions you make today. The most powerful aspect of this is that it doesn't matter where you start. Whether you're just beginning your journey or you feel you've lost your way, you can always make a new choice. You can always decide to change the direction of your life. And the moment you do, everything begins to shift. The future you want to create is possible, but it begins with one simple, powerful decision: to take control of your life and make choices that align with your highest potential. That decision will change everything. The power is yours. It's always been yours. The only question left is, what will you choose? In the end, it all boils down to this one powerful truth: your life is shaped by the choices you make. Every decision, whether small or monumental, is a building block for the future you are creating. The life you are living today is the result of the choices you've made in the past, and the life you will live tomorrow is being determined by the decisions you make today. You have within you the power to choose, to decide, to take control of your destiny. It's not about waiting for the right time, the right circumstances, or the right opportunities. It's about making intentional decisions now, decisions that align with the person you want to become, the life you want to live, and the dreams you want to fulfill. Each choice, no matter how small, is a step toward that future. If you are not satisfied with where you are, don't wait for things to change on their own. Start today. The decisions you make right now are the ones that will create your reality. Whether it's choosing to take action instead of waiting, choosing to be consistent instead of giving up, or choosing to believe in your own potential instead of doubting yourself, those choices will pave the way for a new, empowered future. The road ahead may not always be easy, and the choices you make may not always be comfortable. But it is in those moments when you face fear, uncertainty, and challenges that your decisions matter most. And it's through those decisions that you will build the life you truly desire, a life of purpose, fulfillment, and success. So take a moment to reflect on your choices. Understand that the power to change, the power to shape your future, is always in your hands. The life you want is just one decision away, and with each choice, you are moving closer to the person you were meant to become. The question is, what will you choose today? Your future is waiting and it starts with you.